My wife is a ticking time bomb, and I want out. We've been married 17 years with 4 kids, and for the last 2 years, she hasn't spoken to me or them at all. Just sits in our bedroom while I do everything. School drop-offs, groceries, cooking, cleaning, all of it. I work from home doing IT support so I can manage, but the kids keep asking what's wrong with mom, and I don't know what to tell them. Her therapist says she's making progress. We're paying $180 per session twice a week, and I'm not seeing it. She comes home from therapy, gets in bed, and scrolls her phone until 2 a.m. I hear her laughing sometimes through the wall, but the moment I walk in the room, she goes silent. Last Tuesday, I made spaghetti, like I do every Tuesday, because it's the one meal all 4 kids will actually eat. My youngest, who's 7, came running up when she came downstairs and said, "Mom, I made you a drawing at school today. Look." And she just stared at him for 10 seconds and walked back upstairs. Didn't take the drawing. Didn't say a word. He cried himself to sleep holding that crumpled paper. I thought maybe she needed more time. Maybe this is what depression looks like and I'm supposed to be patient. Her parents were awful to her growing up. Neglectful mom, abusive dad. So I kept telling myself she's healing. She'll come back to us. Then last Thursday, everything changed. I came home from Costco around noon and heard her voice for the first time in months. She was on the phone in the kitchen, laughing. Actually laughing. That real deep laugh she used to do when we first started dating. I froze in the doorway with $300 worth of groceries in my hands because I hadn't heard that sound in so long. When she hung up, I asked who it was, trying to sound casual, and she said, "Oh, just a friend from work catching up. She quit her job at the hospital 3 years ago. Said she couldn't handle being around people anymore. Something felt wrong." So that night, after I put the kids to bed, I checked our phone bill online. Calls to the same number every single day for the last 6 months, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, all between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. when I'm locked in my office on client calls. The longest one was 4 hours and 23 minutes. My hands were shaking when I dialed it back. It rang twice and a man answered. Deep voice, mid-40s maybe. He said hello, then my wife's name, before I even said anything. I hung up and sat there staring at my phone. This stranger said her name like he'd said it 1,000 times. I couldn't sleep that whole night. Just kept thinking about all the signs I'd missed. The new clothes she bought last month, the fact she started wearing makeup again, how she'd shower and get dressed even though she wasn't leaving the house. Friday morning, I waited until she got back from therapy and I asked her directly, "Who's the guy you've been calling?" She didn't even look surprised. She said he's someone who actually listens to me. I asked how they met and she said his wife goes to her therapy group. They started talking in the waiting room 7 months ago. I asked if she loved him and she said, "I don't know, maybe." I asked if she was leaving and that's when she finally looked at me. Really looked at me for the first time in 2 years and said, "I've been dead inside this whole marriage. You made me this way. You forced me to have these kids, forced me to stay home, forced me to live this life I never wanted, and now I found someone who makes me feel alive again." I told her I never forced her to do anything. She begged me to have a big family. She insisted on staying home. She made every single one of these choices, and she screamed at me that I'm the problem. I always make everything about me. That even when she's trying to explain her feelings, I twist it around. She's been packing for 3 days now. My daughter, who's 14, asked why mom has suitcases out, and I said she's going on a trip. My son, who's 11, said, "Is she coming back?" And I said, "I don't know, buddy. I really don't know." Her lawyer called yesterday. She's taking half of everything. The house, the savings, the retirement I built over 20 years. Plus, she wants primary custody, even though she hasn't said a word to these kids in 24 months. Her therapist is going to testify that she's made remarkable progress and is ready to be a full-time mother again. This morning, she came downstairs with her bags. My youngest asked, "Where are you going, mommy?" And she bent down, looked him in the eyes, and said, "I'm going somewhere I can finally be happy." Then she walked out our front door, got into a car I didn't recognize, and drove away. My kids stood at the window watching until the car disappeared. I still have that crumpled drawing my son made her 6 months ago. It's on my desk right now. It says, "I love you, Mom," in red crayon with a picture of our family holding hands. She's smiling in the drawing. He drew her smiling.